In 2006, the five largest automakers on the planet controlled 67% of global vehicle sales. They had the factories, the supply chains, the dealerships, the lobbyists, and a century of brand equity so deep it felt untouchable. They had engineers who had spent entire careers understanding exactly one thing: how to build cars that people would buy. And then something happened that none of them predicted, none of them prepared for, and none of them could stop. The electric vehicle revolution wasn't a surprise. It was announced. It was discussed in boardrooms for 15 years. There were committees, there were roadmaps, there were press releases full of bold commitments and ambitious timelines. Volkswagen announced an investment of $89 billion into EV transition. Ford put $50 billion on the table. GM pledged $35 billion. The numbers were staggering. The confidence was absolute. The analysts cheered, the stocks moved, the executives collected their bonuses. And even then, they still failed. Because while Volkswagen was spending a decade building the ID.3, a car so underwhelming that European journalists used the word disappointing in their first drive reviews, something else was being built on the other side of the world. While Ford was canceling the Mustang Mach-E's production targets and walking back its EV commitments, a brand that didn't exist 4 years ago was delivering 30,000 vehicles in a single month. While BMW was charging 70,000 euros for an electric SUV with interior materials that belonged in a rental car, a company founded in 2021 was putting Napa leather on every surface, real wood on every trim, and a 900-volt architecture under the floor, and selling the whole thing for less than half the price. While the legacy industry was learning how to fail at the future, Zeekr was already living in it. And that's when everything started to slip out of control. At first glance, it looks like a car company. That's the trap. 5 years old, 7 models, global sales, reasonable numbers on paper. You hear Chinese electric vehicle and you think you already know what this is: a budget alternative, a compromise, something you buy when you can't afford the real thing. You file it away, you move on, you assume the story ends there. And that's exactly where the trap is. Because Zeekr is not a budget brand playing catch-up. Zeekr is what happens when a company builds the future without apologizing for the present. When engineers aren't constrained by legacy platforms, legacy thinking, or legacy shareholders who need the internal combustion division to remain profitable for 3 more years. What you're about to see isn't a lineup of cars. It's a systematic dismantling of every assumption the Western automotive industry ever made about what a car should cost, what it should do, and who gets to build one. Start from the bottom. The Zeekr X, compact electric crossover. It costs $27,000. You already have a category in your head for what that price buys you, and you're wrong. This is a car with 480 horsepower, a 0 to 100 time of 3.69 seconds, and the only motorized sliding screen ever fitted to any production vehicle on the planet. 14.5 inches, moving 353 millimeters on an electric rail triggered by a hand gesture. Not a feature, not a concept car party trick. In production, on a $27,000 car. Compare that to the BMW X3. Same segment, smaller performance numbers, $47,000. This is just the beginning. Move up the range and meet the Zeekr 001 shooting bracket, the body style that every automotive journalist agrees is the most beautiful thing on 4 wheels, and the one that almost no manufacturer has the courage to build, because the market for it is considered too niche. Zeekr built it anyway. And then they gave it an 800-volt architecture as standard across the entire 2026 lineup, something most luxury brands still treat as a premium upgrade. The base all-wheel drive version produces a minimum of 580 kilowatts. That's 780 horsepower, 0 to 100 in 3.36 seconds. Napa leather on every surface, real wood, frameless windows, a rear diffuser, and a wheelbase long enough to give your passengers more legroom than a Porsche Panamera Sport Turismo. The Panamera Sport Turismo costs $113,000 and does 0 to 100 in 4.2 seconds. But the Zeekr 001 costs $36,000 and does it in 3.3. But what comes next changes everything. Because there's a version of the Zeekr 001 called the FR, 1,265 horsepower, 0 to 100 in 2.02 seconds, and Zeekr is currently testing a quad-axial flux configuration, a powertrain layout so extreme it's almost theoretical, projected to exceed 2,000 horsepower in a shooting bracket that costs the price of a mid-spec BMW 5 Series. This is not a comparison. This is a generational gap. Now meet the car that was supposed to be impossible. The Zeekr 007, executive sedan. The segment that BMW owns, that Mercedes defines, that Porsche uses to prove that practicality and performance can coexist. The 007 enters that segment and does something its competitors never anticipated. It doesn't try to match them. It makes them irrelevant.
The screen is 15.5 inches of 2.5K OLED. The AI assistant isn't a voice command system. It's a large language model that learns your routes, your preferred cabin temperature, your habits. It remembers, it adapts. The rear passengers have individual climate controls and massage seats. The legroom exceeds that of a BMW 7 Series, the car that costs twice as much and exists in an entirely different market position. The ADAS system runs on dual NVIDIA Orin X processors, delivering 58 TOPS of computing power, with Huawei's 2.0 ADS platform and LiDAR coverage that has no gap in its detection field. The top specification produces over 600 horsepower, 0 to 100 in 2.8 seconds, and the range extends to 500 miles with an 800-volt charging system that adds nearly 600 kilometers in 15 minutes. The BMW 5 Series costs $60,000. The Tesla Model 3 Performance costs $56,000. The Porsche Panamera costs $100,000. The Zeekr 007 costs $27,500. And this is where it becomes uncomfortable. Because those aren't different tiers of the same product, they're not different expressions of the same idea, they're not competing philosophies. One does everything the other does, and then does things the other has never even attempted at less than half the price. This car doesn't compete, it replaces. But the 007 is not the volume leader. The car that outsells everything else in the Zeekr lineup is the ZX. And the ZX is where Zeekr stops playing in the traditional field of automotive competition and starts building on entirely different ground. It's an SUV, 4,787 millimeters, the 2,900 millimeter wheelbase, the footprint of a BMW X5. But the architecture is 900 volts, updated for 2026. 10 to 80% charge in 10 minutes. The ADAS system is the same dual NVIDIA Orin X configuration as the 007. The front illumination system is not a headlight, it's an interactive LCD display integrated into the face of the car, animating, displaying patterns, reacting to the presence of other people. The seats are Alcantara and Napa leather. There is no visible plastic. The panoramic roof generates a starlit sky ambient lighting across the entire headliner. The Yamaha audio system doesn't just play sound, it vibrates the seat structures to create a physical sensation of the music. And then there are the safety features, the ones that have never existed on any other production car. An emergency hidden button, a dedicated breaker tool built into the cabin for glass shattering in the event of submersion, and the world's first factory-installed child seat with an active integrated airbag, not an aftermarket accessory, not an optional extra, a child seat built into the vehicle with its own airbag system, active from the factory.
The 7X was driven to Badain-Giron, the tallest stationary sand dune on the planet, not as a stunt, but as a proof of its pneumatic suspension's off-road capability. A luxury SUV to the most extreme sand environment on Earth, and it came back. In Australia, the 7X launched at 57,900 AUD, precisely $1,000 below the Tesla Model Y, deliberately. In its second month of sales, it led the entire mid-size premium SUV segment above 60,000 AUD, beating BMW X3, Audi Q5, Mercedes GLC, and Lexus NX. This is where the industry loses control of the narrative. And then there's the 9X, the car that makes everything above it feel like the warm-up act. September 29, 2025, Zeekr opens the order book for its first ever PHEV, a 6-seat, 3-row large luxury SUV. 10,000 confirmed orders in 13 minutes, 30,000 in 10 days. By December, the 9X was delivering over 10,000 units per month and had become the best-selling vehicle above 500,000 yuan in the entire Chinese market in its first attempt. The segment it entered? Range Rover, BMW X7, Bentley Bentayga, cars that define what luxury means at scale, that carry a century of heritage into every transaction, that cost between $100,000 and $350,000. The 9X costs between $64,000 and $83,000, and it produces 1,400 horsepower, 1,400 newton-meters of torque, 3 electric motors plus a turbocharged 4-cylinder combustion engine, 0 to 100 in 3.1 seconds. The Lamborghini Urus, a car that exists purely as a statement of performance excess, does it in 3.6 seconds. A 6-seat family SUV is half a second faster than a Lamborghini. The suspension reads the road surface ahead of each individual wheel and adjusts the damping before the impact arrives, not in response to it, before it. The AI assistant is built on ByteDance's Doubao large language model, long context memory, multi-intent understanding, behavioral learning over time. There are 50 storage points inside the cabin. The rear entertainment system flips down from the headliner. Every surface is Napa leather or real wood, and the Rolls-Royce Cullinan, which occupies the same cultural space in the buyer's imagination, costs $350,000.
And this changes the entire game. Go back to the beginning, back to 2006, back to the committees and the roadmaps and the $89 billion pledges and the bold commitments. The industry saw the future coming. They had more time than any disruptor should ever give an incumbent. They had capital, they had infrastructure, they had everything except the willingness to actually change. Zeekr is 5 years old. It has 7 models. It is selling 30,000 vehicles a month. It launched in Australia and immediately outsold BMW. It opened an order book and sold 10,000 units in the time it takes to watch a film. The legacy automakers didn't fail because they weren't trying. They failed because they were trying to protect what they had, while someone else was building what comes next. And what comes next is already here. You're not choosing a car, you're choosing which era you belong to. The question isn't whether Zeekr belongs in the conversation. The question is whether the brands you grew up trusting still do.